A super warm welcome back to Foxy Games UK new and existing subscribers. I'm Fox, your reliable source of aggregated video game news, speculation and rampant rumour. ICYMI, in case you missed it. Check out yesterday's The Gamer Couch podcast episode 109. We had a good time, over 90 minutes filled with friendly banter and debate regarding next-gen and obviously current-gen gaming and all the latest news and rumours that entails. Link in the description, go check it out. But that was then, this is now. It's Monday, July 15. Here is our top news story. It looks like North American video game retailer GameStop can breathe a sigh of relief, since both up and coming next-gen platforms, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlett, will feature optical Blu-ray disc drives, and for many brick-and-mortar retailers, understandably, an all-digital age would be detrimental to the core business, with many outlets making a sizable chunk of their revenue from pre-owned video game sales. Sourced via GameSpot.com, here's the full story. And so the headline reads, GameStop is extremely happy PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlett have disc drives, and Red Dead Redemption 2 running at 8K resolution could amount to as much as a whopping 400GB of video game data, according to a GameStop executive. And the next wave of video game technology is on its way, and not even a 25% import tax levy can stop it. Sure enough, FGUK has extensively covered Microsoft's Project Scarlett and Sony's PS4 successor, PS5, but the Scarlett platform is scheduled for release in holiday 2020, while Sony's next generation PlayStation system is rumored to release in or around that window. Both Scarlett and PS5 will feature optical disc drives, and retailer GameStop is extremely pleased about that, particularly following some ongoing turmoil related to the all-digital Xbox One S model Microsoft recently launched. GameStop Chief Customer Officer Frank Hamlin told GameSpot that both Microsoft and Sony are keenly aware that people want to have the option to play a physical disc copy if they so choose. And with the proliferation of digital game sales, the prevalence of digital services such as game content streaming, subscription-based services are growing year over year. But at the end of the day, giving people the option to play physical media is important, Hamlin says. And I totally agree with that statement, though of course it's exactly what you'd expect a GameStop executive to say. The company's business lives or dies off physical game sales, though there are other factors at play. Unlike TV, movies and music industries that all have adopted a digital-first approach, the file sizes for games are exponentially larger, and game file sizes are growing at an alarming rate as games become more and more content-rich and graphically impressive. As such, discs will continue to be an important, really, portion of the game audience for a long time to come, according to the North American retail chain. Here's a quote. I think both Microsoft and Sony are keenly aware that the customer needs that optionality. We're very much a believer in helping our customers sell them a physical game when they want it. GameStop Chief Customer Officer Frank Hamlin there. So Hamlin went on to say that people will still enjoy playing physical games because they enjoy owning something tangible when they lay down $60 or more. Here's another quote. It's much like a collectible. They're like their collectability and the trophy on the shelf. That tangibility is something that's extremely important for the right game experience. Not giving the customer the privilege of having that is something I think both Sony and Microsoft are aware would be a foolish thing to do. So, recent reports suggest that CD Projekt Red developed action/role-playing game Cyberpunk 2077 clocks in at around 80GB on a standard PS4, and that's without any of the 4K assets expected in the next-gen versions of the game, let alone 8K. And Red Dead Redemption 2 comes in at slightly over 100GB of game data file size, and with the kind of 8K graphics that Project Scarlett and the PS5 can offer, the file size for a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 could potentially balloon to well over 400GB. Hamlin estimated Microsoft experimented with an all-digital Xbox model with the Xbox One S all-digital edition released back in May. The console has no disc drive, so it doesn't seem to be the most attractive product for a retailer like GameStop that relies on physical media sales. Unlike Walmart, Best Buy and Target, GameStop does not sell the system. Hamlin told GameSpot that GameStop continues to have conversations with Microsoft about offering the system, but those talks haven't really amounted to anything yet. And I quote, "We're absolutely excited about it, but we're not presently selling it. Microsoft is a wonderful partner and we're in conversations about how that could be a possibility." though the GameStop chief exec of customer management declined to comment on the ongoing conversations between GameStop and Microsoft. GameStop believes physical will continue to be a better way to experience larger games and for gamers to start playing faster. Hamlin went on to say, for the larger, more immersive games, I think physical experience is going to be a better get your gaming quicker experience, even on increasing bandwidth speeds. I think that's why the customer doesn't want to throw away that optionality. It's not like movies where the file size of a movie is pretty much the same file size forever year after. These games become more and more immersive, and as they do, the file size gets exponentially larger. Interesting and very true. And whatever your opinion of GameStop, it does seem there are plenty of not favorable or so favorable GameStop opinions out there if you look on social media and YouTube videos, but you have to admit physical media is fundamentally important for a huge demographic of gamers across the globe. There's the internet bandwidth limits, and there's a reliance on the ISP, that's internet service provider, and a reliance on the game's back-end servers. Plus, you may have noticed games get removed from online stores for various reasons, anything from music licenses expiring, IP, franchise or license ownership changing hands. There are many reasons why going all digital could have an adverse effect going forward. And yes, games that exceed 80 to 100 gigabyte on a standard PS4 or Xbox One at standard HD resolutions will drastically increase with the release of these true native 4K next generation PlayStation and Xbox platforms that have the capability to checkerboard up to 8K. So, that 400 gigabyte claim made by GameStop isn't as far-fetched as it seems, even with advances in video and audio compression techniques. I think most of the Foxy Games UK subscribers know by now that I prefer to purchase my games physically, relegating all digital purchases to PlayStation and Xbox or eShop sales, and even then they're mostly games that I would not have picked up day one as an impulse purchase, or the price has dropped so low in the digital sale it's a no-brainer to pick up. Though, to end this on a less positive note, I've got to say, I do object to the way many of these game publishers release a game physically, that is on disc, but only a small portion of the game is actually on Blu-ray, requiring really an excessive download in order to play the game. Nintendo's Switch is comparatively expensive to produce game cards, are probably the biggest culprit here, but at least Nintendo can justify why. Current Blu-ray discs, on the other hand, offer up to 50 gigabyte of data, so there's no excuse for publishers to just fill a fraction of that. In the most extreme cases, a paltry 6 gigabyte of data was found on a 50 gigabyte disc. That's a whole 44 gigabyte of data unused, and I won't really out the game or developer because there are so many offenders out there. I'd need a 1-hour podcast just to relay it to you. But yeah, only 6 gigabyte of game data on a 50 gigabyte disc, and you're expected to download the rest of the game, or you simply cannot play it? This, my friends, is wholly unacceptable. But that's just me. What say you? Go ahead, sound off, share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that, unfortunately, brings us to the end of another video. But let's continue the discussion in the comments. And for all your current and next-gen news updates, rumour and rampant speculation, why not hit the like button, spread the word, and oh yes, keep it locked to Foxy Games UK. Remember, all relevant links where applicable can be found in this video's description. Subscribe to Foxy Games UK, remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content, thumbs up if you like it here, and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video. And consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, and or grab yourself a Foxy Games UK branded t-shirt or hoodie, available in various colours and designs. You'll find both links in this video's description. I truly appreciate the support. And that concludes our time together on this Monday. It was certainly great hanging out. I sincerely hope you have a tremendous start to the week. And until next time, remember, play games, not corporations.